Crypto fatigue. It's real. Let's talk about it. Are you tired? Are you exhausted? Do you feel the weight of the world on your shoulders from this crazy world that is DeFi? Welcome to the channel where we build financial power. My name is Matt, and this is
Potter.
Today we want to talk about crypto fatigue, something that both Potter and I are experiencing. If you're new to this channel, 10 Eastern, Thursdays and Fridays, we go live. We talk about all about this world that is considered a degenerate world, but it's been quite fun. We have crypto fatigue.
Yes.
We feel a little tired. And it's so funny that this is the topic today, because towards the beginning of the week, I was like, all right, Potter, like, you have anything heavy on your head? Done. We did not like converse like, hey, I'm going through this, and then, hey, I'm going through this, let's do this. Potter's like, I really want to talk about crypto fatigue. And it was so in line with where I was. So like serendipitous, like even our text thread, our communication with one another, it's been less. And I've just like, I can feel it through the text of how you're feeling somewhat. And like, I've responded. I went back and look at my responses to your text, and they were like, nice. Yeah, cool. Rather than a paragraph of a response. So it's interesting. I believe there's good things to be found in this conversation. It's not all gloom and doom. So how you feeling this morning, Potter?
Well, like you said, just tired. You know, I think the last time the mines season was here, it also got fatiguing, right? It was just like, oh my God, there's just so many.
Yeah.
And there were good ones and bad ones. And we just experienced a bad one.
Yeah.
In case you are out there and you just happen to go by our YouTube and you're in Lucky Dog.
Yeah.
Anything Lucky Dog. Don't click on anything, just go away.
Yes.
It rugged yesterday. I was like only a couple minutes in when I found out that they had done it. So I got kind of fortunate there. I was able to warn people that I know.
Yep.
But it on top of doing all of these exercises, waiting for the animal farm to go live, watching beans continually grow. It's just a lot of work. People don't understand how much work there is in DeFi. They think that, I'll just click. No. And so it's fatiguing. It's fatiguing teaching people, but rewarding. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
But it's fatiguing. And I've actually, Matt, you didn't even know this, but I've kind of changed my bar. So after having a very bad incident with someone who wasn't technically savvy, and me going, what can possibly happen?
Okay.
Here's what can possibly happen. Her wallet is gone forever. It belongs to the internet now, because she trusted someone that she thought was a good actor.
Okay.
So now I've raised the bar. I'm gonna, like, one, I don't give advice anyway, right? I just explain technically what's happening. And so I'm raising the bar to say, you know what? You don't understand how dangerous you might be to yourself. So because of what I've just seen and what I had to get out of, I'm not going to do that. And so that part is fatiguing too.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for whoever's involved with the rug pull. Like, so the exploit on this guy was, it's not funny. But after he rug pulled, he then put in a vulnerability that if you clicked on the button, he created what's called a honeypot. That it makes it look like, oh, well, even if that's a mistake, I'm going to click on it.
Yep.
And when people clicked on it, it actually was a contract that said, hey, you're going to give me whatever's in your wallet.
Yep.
And so one person lost 5 BNB.
Oh.
Can you imagine? So I kind of think that these blockchains need to come up with an idea of validators who are able to report things like that, so that it's not everybody reporting in. A validator node is somebody who validates that the crypto exchanges are happening, right? Okay. So they're already a trusted source. And if they get so many of something, votes or whatever, it can escalate to Binance and they can just pause a wallet on their blockchain.
Okay.
Right? So that is, I don't know if you want to show it.
I did. So I was pulling it up as you were speaking because I think it's going to give some context
Okay.
of this was a legit rug, and I have no problem,
Yeah, go ahead.
calling this
We're
person
just
out.
saying, don't go here.
Yeah, and this is what it looked like. So for me, this was a very interesting lesson so right there you can see it says your rewards 10.67 BNB. I knew there was no way mathematically, there was no way in hell, even if I left it sitting there for a month, there's no way that was going to be there. So I immediately was like, the hairs on the back put up, and I was like, all right, I wonder. It was just a theory in my head. I was like, I wonder if I were to click on this, would there be any way that something could be taken out of my wallet? And I was like, possibly. So I'm going to take every bit of the BNB out of that wallet, and I moved it to another wallet, and I left just enough for gas fees, just to see what happens if you hit harvest, because I did know that I had a little bit left. Like,
okay, that was very smart, dude. I didn't even do that.
0.065 I knew was sitting in there, so I was like, maybe I have the ability to pull that 0.065. So I hit harvest after I had made that wallet safer or less to lose.
You're right.
And it popped up and it said you have 0.05, so basically a half of a BNB that you could pull right now. I was like, okay, maybe. Yeah. Still didn't quite seem right. And then sure enough, I harvested. It said 0.5. I waited for the transaction, and then I looked at my wallet, and the balance dropped by 0.005.
That's what happened to mine.
That's what happened to yours? How?
Yep. Because I was like, because I had to test it. I was like, let me see. Okay, it doesn't a bad gas fee. Let's see what's going to happen. Yeah. And I just got it. So I don't understand, though, the guy or woman who lost 5. Oh, hey, Ara.
Ara, what's up, man?
Okay. Yeah. So, like, what did they see? Did they just go, well, if I'm going to get 10 BNB, maybe it makes sense to have 5 BNB payment?
That's.
But can you imagine the hurt?
Oh, yeah.
Imagine the hurt.
Painful.
That is 5 times $400, folks.
That's painful. I mean, I think I only had like a half a BNB sitting in my wallet. Yeah. But even then, I was like, all right, I'm gonna move.
Yeah, it still sucked. I'm like, man, that's like what, maybe $10? No, not even. But yeah, it's still, hey, you jerk face. It wasn't yours. And you were making a lot of money, criminal. Why didn't you just stay in the criminal business? Like, nobody would have known. Like, for the work that you've done, you could have had this like going off to maybe some other account. Like you could have just taken the rewards fee. Yeah. But whatever. But that kind of thing, like we're talking about fatigue, that thing just enhances fatigue.
For sure.
Yeah, you're like, whatever.
Good. No, go ahead. I cut you off. Go
ahead. It's just that all of the other things, there's just, we're kind of in a holding pattern, waiting for stuff. So we just needed time, but we didn't think that this whole minor season thing was going to take off. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Yeah, well, and to your point of this was a minor season, and like I said on one of our previous shows, like this was a new play for me. This is very new to me of like not a long-term thing. This is more of like this is a shorter term play. And so all the forks started popping up, and and you were firing them through like, hey, just so you know, when we take a look at this, they were coming daily. I mean, just like this one launched 20 minutes ago, and without a doubt, and this is not like pointing finger at you, but
I don't think it is.
But you can't help but have some sort of FOMO. I don't care how stable you are or what your plan is, you can't help but have some sort of FOMO when you know that there is one project out there that's doing extremely well and forks are coming off of it. You're like, okay, I mean, surely they can't all be rugs. Having said that, I had a friend of mine I was telling that's also in Baked Beans. I was like, it's gonna happen. Just there's no way that it's not gonna happen. At least one of these will be a rug. At least if you don't think that, you're a little naive. And so whenever you shot me that message, I was like, all right. It honestly felt kind of good to have some confirmation to know, like, okay, like something that I predicted. Not that I'm Nostradamus, but just like having some foresight, like
Yes.
moving the money around from that wallet and whatnot, having the
That was
foresight
very smart. I love
to
that.
think.
That was a great freaking move, dude. I'm proud of you on that
Well,
one.
thank you. But
When,
it's confirming, to be honest with you.
yeah, and one of the good things about the channel is like we told you, hey, we're not trying to make money here. We're trying to help people. We're not trying to give financial advice here. Don't do it. We're not financial advisors.
Yeah.
But we're into some crazy stuff. And so
Mm-hmm.
maybe we can help you, tell you what we did. So
Yep.
when somebody came to me and said, hey, what should I go into? I was like, I don't know what you should go into. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not a financial advisor and I'm not about
Yeah.
to tell you, even
Mhm.
though you're my friend and you would not ever tell anyone.
Yeah.
So here's what I would do. I would look at it and go, baked beans. Wow, that's a lot of money in there. Boy, that would take a lot of time to drain. Other one that would give me a much better return. I have no idea who you are, and you just changed 2 lines of code.
Yeah.
But if it's not bad, wow, you're going to make a lot there. But here's the other one that's working.
Mhm.
She said, I think I'll go in the one that's working.
Yep.
And so she did. Now, somebody who works with me, well, I don't work with anybody, I'm retired, but somebody who worked with me, he got a person in and he put them in dog. He told them about it and they're like, he didn't give them the warning. So that person, they deposited over like $2,000. They lost it in a day.
And so that goes back to the same principle of, I feel like you can intentionally or unintentionally set up these safeguards for yourself of like, I think I put a total of 0.1 into Lucky Dog. And that was money that was made from baked beans or made from whatever.
Yeah,
so
exactly. It was just leftover stuff. Yeah.
Like, so then when you look back at that, you're like, all right, well, yeah, it kind of sucks. And I take that back because I actually made money off of Lucky Dog and then put that into baked beans and, recompounded and reinvested. So I guess I say that to say, like, there's experience and good things that's learned and gained from losses. I've now had 2 rugs that I've been involved with, and that's not a scarlet letter to me. I look at it as lessons. Like I know now that there's a possibility that I can go to a website and click claim and they can pull it out of my wallet. I didn't know that before, so yeah, man, there's good things to be found.
Yeah, and I got to show you that website, Unracked. That
interesting. Actually,
it gets rid of your contract. So, I mean, I do that every once in a while anyway. Even though I know a contract is there, I just go do them. I have to redo them, right? And then I have multiple wallets. So, I know what I'm doing. It's not something somebody should try to do if they haven't practiced, because it can get incredibly confusing if you don't build it from scratch and have thousands of transactions in hundreds of days, right? Doing it. But yeah.
So, and you want me to pull Unwrecked up just so they can see the site or no?
Oh, yeah, sure.
All right, cool. Yeah, my mom, as I'm pulling that up, my mom, I take that back. My grandfather, whom I never met, but my mom has always said, if it weren't for the rock days, the diamond days wouldn't be so beautiful. If we didn't have darkness, the light wouldn't. You can't have. You have to have that contrast. You have to have that good and bad. You have to have that light and dark, because if it was constantly light, it wouldn't be as beautiful. Those diamonds wouldn't be as beautiful if you didn't have those rock days. You can,
very wise words by mom.
Right? You can have that perspective, or you can be like, crap, man, I lost money. This sucks. Screw crypto. This is not right. Like, you can have that for sure. I guess why?
Well, you know what's scary? It's sad, very sad. People, that was somebody. The odds are 100% that was somebody's first investment.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, and that does suck.
That's just,
yeah.
Oh man, if that was your intro to DeFi, well, congratulations, because you needed to feel it straight away, but you didn't get to learn enough to know that, it can happen again, or you should ever do it again.
Yep. Yep.
So you can bring up the site.
Yeah, and it's that concept that what you and I subscribe to is you invest only what you are completely prepared to lose.
Right. And then you hit another phase of it. It's okay. now I know how much I can lose, but now do I want to bring in fiat now with all the
Right.
gates that they have? It's like,
the
it's
precision.
ridiculous to get your money over now.
Mhm.
So, do I even want to waste my time doing that? Is
Yeah.
it like I can afford to lose that?
Yeah.
But I think I'd just rather lose what I have in crypto. So you've made it through that gate.
Yeah. And that, that I think that's literally the same. That's the same translation of you're not really making much money in life, and then you start making more money, and then you're like, crap, like what am I going to get taxed on that? It's literally the process of learning taxes and how to, legally maneuver it. Be smart about it. So
Yeah, pay taxes, people. Pay the taxes. Okay, good people.
Someone that damn sure knows about money.
Yep. So this site, you can go to places like rug.io. They are a site that is for DeFi. If you don't understand DeFi and you go to rug.doc, it'll say, hey, here's the explanation. Pro tip, you won't understand, right? You just stay away from it. But this allows you to take a look at any contract that your wallet has signed on any of these blockchains, and you can go in and forget the actual contract. It'll just say, hey, they don't have permission to operate on your behalf. Okay. So yesterday we wanted to make sure that the little trick that we found out about, the 0.05 trick, that it wasn't going to last. So we went in and it just seems like they created this contract for an approval, right? And they, under the guise of an approval, they did other stuff, but it was an in and out transaction. It didn't seem to be an actual transaction that was held. Never seen that before either. So that was new to me.
Really?
Too. Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool because like I was like, hey, I just saw this, and then you went and looked the code up, and you were able to see in the code. So I mean, it pays to be technical, folks. It pays to be technical. So.
Yeah, peace out. Yeah. I would love to say that it was just a technical part, but meanwhile, I got burned.
Yeah.
There's no warning signs. It's like an earthquake. But to be honest, this kind of game, I think that you should have a game that says, hey, we're advertising. When it gets up to X, we have no support. Get in and get out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And just like maybe build a brand of those games so people and have it end. Hey, this is how long this mine is going to be open. At the end of it, whoever has the most gets the most in the final payout. Yeah. Right? Yep. And then you'll have that. I think that would just bring in whales. Like he would say, I own all the pot. I'll just get more money. But it'll allow some little people to get $10, $100, $1,000.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know because I don't know the way the game would work. But
I don't know. Again, I think there's just a billion different perspectives you could look at this. Like you said, there's somebody out there. Lucky Dog was their first play, and that was crushing to them. Or they were like, all right, well, maybe this fork or maybe this miner isn't it. There's a billion ways to look at it. Like my first crypto that I got into, I've been very fortunate. It's coming up on the year anniversary, and I've been fortunate with that. The only thing I've really looked at is volatility of the price, which is to be expected. Had I experienced a rug day one,
oh my God, Matt,
I don't know. Like I don't know. Would my mentality have been like, screw that, man? Like I'm going in harder, or would have been like, this woman Potter, she's a huckster. She's like, I don't know. Like I don't know.
Yeah, Matt, that's a good point, dude. If you had experienced that first with how you were, that would not have done well. Because even after BUSD miner, you're like, deuces. Like, you know what? It's all whatever stuff. I'm not going anywhere, but you know what?
Yeah.
Because that is an impactful thing that you're building this level of trust. You're building this level of understanding. You think you got it. And then right when I got it, somebody goes, Rah!
Yeah.
And that is frustrating. And it causes that level of fatigue.
Yep.
But what I learned from, this one was I was already tired.
Yeah.
I was already tired.
Well, and you have a different level of tired. I mean, just because you're a different human, you experience different things on a daily basis than I do. So in your personal life and all that, but you're at a true teaching standpoint, and I'm not the only person you speak with. I am much more in like still my own learning season. You're still learning too, but
Yeah.
you have so much more of an application of reteaching. Me, I'm still learning. So the level of fatigue that may come from that is, could be much higher, could be much lower for either of us. So the different levels in what you experience, I think it's so crazy important to stick to your principles. If those principles are, only invest what you can afford to lose, realize that you are in a world of ultra high risk, and that it can all, like Potter and I say it all the time. I have a friend of mine that's in DeFi. We say it all the time that every project in DeFi could go away right now. It could all go away. And I think it sounds pessimistic, but I think it's a very healthy view to think, because when you start, you can't rely on this. This has to be a subset of what you're, trying to make money on. That's my mentality, at least. And those are sort of my pillars and what keeps me sane. And what allows me to get into now 2 rug pulls and not be like, screw it, I'm done. I think you have to stick to those things. So
yeah, and something that you've also said a lot is you're like, I am so happy that I'm diversified.
100%. 100%.
And it is that diversification that when we see this, we're like, okay, right? We made unprofessional risk assessment for our comfort levels, and said, this is what we're willing to put in, and this is what we want to take out.
Yep.
And it fits in the puzzle with all of our other stuff. We didn't say, okay, big new toy, expand.
Yeah.
And you will build everything. And from you, I will have, which is what some people get into. They see a week of profit and they go, there's no way it's a rug pull. It's like,
Yep.
Still get 2 weeks it's at 14 days. You get past 14 days, there's something there. There must be some level of tracking they can do, but it's not the way to invest. So having that diversification, having your strategy, like you said, these are all things that in an unprofessional, not financial advice way, can help you in gaming, sporting, or crypto.
You can go that side of like FOMO, like, oh man, I don't want to miss out on that. But then I think there's another side of like wishful thinking. Like, I'd be lying if I wasn't like, all right, I just got into friggin' like 5 miners in the past, few days. Like, I want this to work. But it's so important to keep yourself grounded and not be like, hey, buddy, guess what? Guess what I got into? We're going to be rich. It's going to be good. I think it's really important to keep your head level. So, Anyway, if you're fatigued, don't sweat it. The storm is only here temporarily. There's lessons to be learned. It's your perspective that is so huge. So you got anything in closing?
No, great show, dude. I like this kind of conversation. I hope, our very favorite 10 to 15 people on the planet, we hope you enjoyed it.
Heck yeah.
I love you guys so much.
We appreciate you. Let us know. Are you fatigued? Drop it down in the comments. Like to continue the conversation. I appreciate you showing up. 10 Eastern, Thursday, Fridays. We'll be here. So builders, keep building.
Cheers. See, thank you.